Hello. Thank you so much for being here. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you're looking for some information about the training program that it's about to start. I usually open this training twice a year. It's a 6 months journey. And so far, 9 cohorts have been formed in English and 3 in Spanish. And I truly love guiding these containers. This is my life purpose in which I truly feel in my element. We enter into a very deep exploration of the human experience, past, present, and how we move toward life and destiny. I would say it's roots and wings. As you know, and maybe you have explored before, and before resonating with this training, you know a little bit about family constellations as a modality that allows to observe, to include, to reconcile with what comes from the past, with our past and with life, so we can move forward with more flow and harmony. And observing these dynamics that cause suffering and pain because we all carry, the information, emotions, energy, emotional inheritances. No one is ever separated from their family system. We are one more link into this chain of life and legacy that they have passed through us. So much of what we live is shaped by these dynamics that didn't certainly begin with us, but we are called to evolve, sometimes to compensate, to repeat. Also, we are fulfilled of unlimited potential that it was given. Um, I would say this work, as it was conceived by Bert Hellinger, integrated by Bert Hellinger, comes from this philosophy that invites us to reconcile with life and to recognize and bow to what came before, being grateful to that past, taking our parents as source of life. There's a whole process that comes from reconnecting with this source. And what I want in this video, more than giving you a lesson about family constellation, is to walk you through the key aspects of the training, the contents that we're going to be reviewing, the structure, and also answer some of the questions that I receive from participants, potential students that are interested in the training. So the training is online, it's 100% online. We meet live, usually once a week. The day of the week depends on which cohort it is. It's usually whether Wednesdays or Tuesdays, depending on the cohort. And each session, open space is capped up to 12 participants. I would say no more than that because the attention is very individual. So in each session, we'll open conversations, deep conversation and exploration through different topics, the main topics of the systemic lens to the human experience. And we do it through experience, movement, exercises, constellations, sometimes neurosomatic visualizations, and in which each participant will develop their own insight, their own realizations through the process. They will observe, feel, discharge from the body, primary emotions. Some will join with the intention of developing this ability to facilitate constellations. Some others come for personal awareness, for overcome things that are going on with their life. Some other integrate this wisdom into their current careers or professions, if not necessarily if they're coaches or therapists, but if they're in education, in law. We have doctors, pediatricians that also uh, offering this systemic lens into what they do, give a bigger perspective or an amplified perspective into what health is. So it applies to all areas of life. We all go through relationship challenges, conflicts, crisis, change. So just for being human experience, entering into this field of possibilities and observe our life as in service of something bigger gives so much purpose. So through the training, you also have access to extensive materials that I've been integrating through all these years in my practice, reading guides, videos, so you can develop this systemic knowledge while also in the life experiences process everything through the body, through movement. So we pass through the body the experiences. So this program has already been taken by more than 60 participants from different countries. We have proudly formed a very strong community. They offer each other ongoing support, practice, continued integration. You also have access to the WhatsApp community where all the students are, so you can join different groups. You'll have access to the Enneagram materials because we integrate the systemic perspective with this self-exploration, knowing my traits, my passion, my fixations, getting closer to this beautiful tool for self-knowledge, the Enneagram that we integrate. Although the training is not about the Enneagram, but it's complementary information that I offer, heart math coaching, how to activate the brain of the heart, this holy trinity that is brain, heart, and God. So it's to embody these principles, this philosophy of seeing ourselves like a multi-dimensional layers. We have the mental layer, the emotional layer, the energetic, the ancestral layer, even a cosmic layer that merge us with the collective. So there's never individual healing. That's why it's so powerful to enter this container where we activate the ventral vagal state, which allows social connection and community healing. Certainly, the path is different for each person. It requires respect for your own pace, for your own rhythm, your own timing, your own process. For some, there's more challenges than others. Here, everybody's welcome. There's no judgment, there's no moral consciousness, there's no good and bad. Actually, Bert Hellinger was the first philosopher that truly overcome these moral consciousness and work with belonging. Well, we all belong. Also, you have access to my online community. This is every other Thursday that we meet. There's another group, but there is a complimentary access to that in which we meet for conversations, movement, exploration, emotional processing. It's like group coaching. It's very beautiful and moving. So the facilitator programs last 6 months of live classes, and it also includes 5 supervision sessions that we do during summer and reunite the 2 cohorts that we create during the year. So for those who feel called to serve in this field, it's always an ongoing process. Nobody's going to tell you you are ready. This is your certification. No, there's no an ABC or 1, 2, 3 for you to be ready. At some point, your inner guide will tell you, okay, you're ready. This is a self-relationship in between you and your inner guide that expand your chest when you're ready to serve. It's important to keep yourself working on yourself, developing this inner observer, uh, to be able to truly help others from a more centered, ethical, and grounded way. So I will pass you over briefly over the contents that some of you have asked me. It's a training centered in trauma, informed trauma approaches. We work with the wisdom of the body. We have three centers, and we explore morphic fields, morphogenetic fields, the language of the field, and the inner dialogue with our inner guide. We explore sensorial signals and how our own cells and atoms and molecules expand or contract, our yes, our no. So this inner check, this divided attention to be present is important to be developed. We explore the role of a representation. Of course, we make a deep emphasis in the forces of love, ascent, belonging, balance between giving and taking, and hierarchy, which is the foundation, the legacy, I would say, Berhellinger gifted us. What he called the orders of love, and have evolved into forces, because now physics even demonstrate that these are forces that push us to life, and life wants us to be in the ascent, in the belonging, in the good exchange, in the hierarchy, taking our rightful place of force. So we'll review the parents, the energy of the parents, and how our childhood shaped many of the dynamics and experiences that the script that we develop for life, these loyalties that are unconscious, of course, out of what we call blind love. So we'll review these dynamics of repetition, compensation, um, navigate the emotional world, our emotions as energy that move us through life, that help us adapt. And the foundation here is from TA, Transactional Analysis, from Eric Berne. It has a dimension that involves the script, the life's script that we developed at early age, the emotions, the perspective of emotions is very simple yet very profound. The perspective of the ego state, the adult, the child, the parent ego state, and learn how we move through these ego states in different transactions that we set in our life. So, manipulation and discounts, strokes, all those are uh, premises of the TA that Berhellinger incorporate into his approach. So we're going to, of course, dedicate part of the training to our family tree, our ancestors, this transgenerational perspective, these loyalties, these entanglements, compensation, repetition, couples and love relationships, abundance. We also pass through the body the good help, the orders of help. Um, we will learn about healing sentences, neuro-linguistic programming, neuroscience as these uh, tools for reprogramming the wave structure of the DNA. So our DNA is composed by molecules and waves that was observed in what the biologists used to call the junk DNA. So now we know that there's no such a thing as junk. Our DNA is perfectly conceived as wave, information, and molecules. So health, the systemic perspective on illness and health orders, these signals that the body sends when we have lost coherence, when we have been separated, when we are in unconscious promises with an ancestor. I will not be healthier than you. I will follow you on death. Memorize biological cycles that our cells remember and awake and methylate certain genes. So the secret code of these symptoms that we experience, we will pass through trauma, learn a bit about these traumas of abandonment, betrayal, injustice, rejection, the trauma that happens in the womb when we are in the womb of our mothers. We call it meaningful project. We will go over roles or of perpetrators and victims that Bert Hellinger also gifted us with a beautiful legacy about there's no such a thing as victims or perpetrators. Everyone is serving a bigger purpose, and how victims immediately acquire this energy of revenge, and how perpetrators also were hurt and pass through traumas, and the way that nobody truly chooses the destiny that is going to serve, and everything is thought by what the family system needs. So we will go over, mental disorders, depression, suicide, addictions, infertility, children's difficulty, so many topics that we will be embracing that for sure will move many things inside and develop awareness and perspective for each of you. So I truly invite you to be open to what the field has for you, what life has for you. And if you resonate with this, if you feel called to dedicate your service to this field, you are welcome. And I hope that you can truly find answers that allows you to a new perception, to a new peace and harmony in your life. That is my service for those who resonate. And I'm truly thank you for being here. I will be more than open to answer more questions if you have. And I hope to see you very soon in the field and together in service of life. Thank you so much.